Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday Coffee with Appfire, where we scan through the latest news and updates from the Atlassian universe. Today, we will talk about Meetup Dev Day, changes in the email notifications from Atlassian Automation, Forge Roadmap webinar recap, Cloud Organization Admin certification. We will look at the weekly events roundup and finally the article of the week talking about combating task loneliness. Hi again, we are your hosts, Biro, Nikki, and Peanut from Appfire. Appfire helps teams collaborate more effectively with the apps that make work flow from planning to delivery.
Yes, and today we have a new setup. We actually have a third angle in the background, a bit more dynamic, just showing a bit more of our studio and what we do and the struggles that Peanut has when climbing over.
Oh, so everyone's gonna see my socks?
Yes.
Oh,
your
no.
awesome socks.
Okay, so I have a Jira and Confluence socks. Well, should we start with the first news?
Yes, so we'll pan from time to time to that camera, just so you see a bit more of us in our studio. So Atlassian is hosting Dev Day, the meetup, which kind of sounds like a movie title. This is a free 90 minutes webinar on June 28th. This event offers a learning platform for developers worldwide to interact with Atlassian experts and partners. Participants will gain insights into Atlassian's ecosystem, roadmap, cloud app, product strategy, and Forge app development patterns. The keynote speaker, Karen McKenzie, head of Atlassian Ecosystem, will discuss Atlassian's transformation. Attendees can also participate in technical workshops led by Atlassian engineers and developer advocates, as well as network with peers through a dedicated Slack workspace.
Sounds like interesting event. Is it the first of its kind? I think there was something like that before.
There was a Dev Day as well, but there's Atlas Camp. There was a lot of other events in the past as well.
Well, that's really good to see a new event or a newish event popping up again, so definitely sign up if you're interested. So now let's get to the updates to the Atlassian Automation. Starting of May 29th, emails from Atlassian Cloud Automation will be sent from automation at your site name at atlassian.net. This change affects failed rule notifications and emails sent from the actions. So if you're filtering your inbox based on this email, you should update your filters that are using no reply at automation.atlassian.com to the new email address. If you have any questions, concern, feedback, you can leave it in the comments of the community post. I think this is quite important because if you wouldn't change the filter in your email, you would all of a sudden have like a flood of automation for Jira emails, especially if you're a Jira admin or some project admin, you want to check that out.
And that's what you don't want. You don't want a flood of notification because then they become redundant, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. If you missed the quarterly Forge Roadmap webinar, fear not. Atlassian just published this recap post. In the Q1 2023 Forge Roadmap webinar, the ecosystem platform team highlighted the progress on Forge for Bitbucket, complex queries, and custom entities. Improvements to the Forge runtime are upcoming, along with unlicensed user access to Forge apps on the JSM portal and Jira extendability updates. Despite changes to developer platform priorities due to macroeconomics conditions, several initiatives like the new Forge runtime and multi-user app ownership will continue. However, certain projects like Forge Mobile will be paused. Head over to the post to read or watch the whole recap of this webinar.
This is actually great news because the JSM support for the no agents, like non-signed up user, I think That was one of the things that were blocking a few partners to move to Forge, so it's really good to see these improvements.
Oh yeah.
Atlassian University introduces the Atlassian Cloud Organization Admin Certification. So if you're looking to upgrade your skills in managing users and groups, you can get a discount now for this course, and you also get the exams with it. So definitely check it out. Visit the Atlassian University and have a look.
Atlassian University is one of the most active initiatives from Atlassian. One, around education, but also in general. Like, there's always something new.
Oh, definitely.
Courses, updates, discounts, and things like
Especially after launching the new Atlassian University platform, we see more and more of these, so that's very good to see.
Awesome. Well, shall we move to...
Yes?
To what?
Weekly events roundup. Let's go.
Yes.
It's going to be so many events.
Okay, so Atlassian Weekly Events Roundup kicks off with the what else but Atlassian organized events? Well, event, because it's just one this week. The upcoming Atlassian DevOps talks on May 31st and June 1st will focus on feature flags in software development. Experts from Harness, Launch Darkly, Split, and StatSig will discuss their use, management, and impacts, as well as the build versus buy debate and future prospects. The aim is to highlight how feature flags can reduce risks, accelerate processes, and foster experimentation in development. There's also a couple of cool partner organized webinars, as always, happening this week. We'll talk about two of them. One, and excuse my Spanish, mejora la gestión de cambios con Jira Service Management. Okay, so this event is on 31st. This online webinar by Hertzum Inc. will focus on enhancing change management using Jira Service Management, covering topics such as setting up workflows, roles, definition, ITSM tool integration, and report generation. I keep on saying these titles trying to say them in their native language because they're in that specific language. So it's an ACE event.
Yeah.
It's a webinar event for the Spanish community, right?
Yeah.
So I'm doing my best, okay?
It's right. Yeah.
Right, next up, Unlocking Automation, the Future of ITSM at your organization. This is on June 1st, on Thursday, hosted by ISOS Technology. This webinar will explore the application of automation in business workflows and processes. It will offer insights on using ITSM tools for improving workflow efficiency and will highlight results from the 2023 Automation in Action survey. Then in the awesome world of community organized events, we have a couple Jira backup best practices tomorrow. This is a virtual event in Baltimore. Learn strategies for reliable data protection in Jira. Then let's reconnect, reuniting the North Jersey Atlassian community. This Thursday, join the virtual event in New Jersey, a collaborative meetup for Atlassian users to share ideas, network, and discuss future meetups, and Atlassian Team 23 updates, of course. And that's kind of it. That's all of it for now. More on Goosely calendar. Wow, so many events this week. There weren't that many. I didn't mention that many.
Yeah, but there are still quite a lot in the Goosely calendar which you should visit.
Yes.
Launch Darkly, feature flagging, such a good tool. I like if you are wondering how to do the feature flagging, then definitely I can recommend joining this meetup. I'm sure that many of your questions are going to be answered there. Might be a bit scary to just think about it, but I have a feeling that Launch Darkly was making it so easy when we were using it.
Yes.
Really good tool. Well, anyways, let's go have a look at the next news. And that's actually the article of the week. I actually cheated, so it's not the article, it's a video, but it was converted into the article. So you can either watch the video. Cheater. You can either watch the video or you can read the transcript from it, I guess. So in this one, you can learn how one software engineering team at Atlassian overcame task loneliness by implementing something that they call Uber Stream. If you're wondering which team it was team at Atlas, so definitely really, really interesting talk that they're having. But what is task loneliness? It is especially common in smaller teams when team members feel isolated and unsupported in their work. So to combat this, they introduced the Uber Stream, which is basically a restructuring of the teams, updating the communication rituals, and implementing something that they call the vibe check ritual. It's really, really interesting talk, so I definitely recommend watching it or listening to it, especially if you are working with the smaller teams and you're looking for ways to boost your team's morale.
Yeah, that's always been a concern, especially like you said, in small teams. I think at one point we were also kind of like conducting surveys and discussions around, how do you feel about taking on this project on your own, coding it, taking this task? Do you feel like you need some pair coding, pair reviews, and collaboration and so on? I think that's quite important.
Especially, it's a problem, because in the smaller teams, it sometimes happens that you work on the project by yourself, or you're just like the only designer maybe in the team, and you don't really have like anyone else to talk to and like share your experience with. So it's a problem. We weren't really doing a vibe check, but I was cheating. I was doing a trick on our team. I'm such a cheater, right? I was like, oh, it's so cool. You know that there's this feature like a most recent use emojis on Slack. And I like shared my screenshot, and then everyone else shared the screenshot, and you can actually like see the most common reactions of people, and you can see if they're like happy or concerned from what kind of emojis they're using. So is it like a lot of smiley faces or a crying cat emoji, which I saw there as well, or Elm of Fire?
Yeah, that's a good approach and fun approach. You mentioned designer. I think Mel was definitely not feeling loneliness when she was executing on her tasks, because we were there giving our opinions.
Oh yeah, I meant UX designer. I felt so lonely, but I don't feel lonely anymore, which is good.
Yes, now you have a big team at Appfire. Yes. That's awesome. Speaking of Appfire, for those of you that might not be aware, might have just joined us recently, we actually got acquired by Appfire recently. We used to be Jexo, now we're part of Appfire, and our YouTube channel, our Jexo YouTube channel, has been rebranded to Monday Coffee. So all you get on this YouTube channel from now on is, we mentioned it last week as well, is Monday Coffee content, but we now have all of the branding applied as well. So beautiful. If anyone was in doubt, now there's no more doubt. The Monday Coffee YouTube channel is all branded and stuff.
Awesome. Well, make sure that you subscribe for the latest and greatest from the Atlassian ecosystem, and don't forget to join us next week. Comment in the comment section if you have any questions or what did you like most, and we hope to see you next week.
See you next week. Bye. Bye.